So, these are my worst roller coasters I have ever been on. Now, of course, this will change because it's my opinion, not yours. So, if you disagree with my list, then you can tell me yours in the comments. I don't know, but yeah. Enjoy!
So first on my list we have El Diablo. This, in my opinion obviously, is an absolutely terrible mine train coaster and it's just really boring. Fair enough, it's a family coaster, but it's just, the only good bit on it is the starting pre-drop section, I guess you could call it, where you literally just go out of the station and you just drop down. That's the best part. It's just rough, the lifts are just completely pointless. There's 3 lifts on the ride, which you go up, I think it's the second one, you go up the second one, you go all the way down, and then you go into another one. What was the point? And it's just, the theming's alright, it's not the best, and the ride's just nothing at all, really. So, well, moving on from that, Rita is the Intamin launch coaster at Alton Towers, and a lot of people actually say this ride is pretty good. Every single time I've been on it, it's been almost unbearable and just really rough. The ride's quite short as well, which doesn't really help, but it's not the worst ride in the world, but it is probably the worst at Towers. It's just not great at all. The launch is okay, the rest of it's just unbearable. I mean, almost, but yeah. And if you're all getting triggered at this, it's because it's my personal opinion, and you probably have different views, which most of you probably do. Now, another Intamin coaster on my list is Furious Backhoe, the Intamin Wing Rider. I've been at the front of the train, and it was actually decent, but the back literally shatters you. Now, in general, the ride is actually pretty good. It's a good ride in itself. It's quite short once again, but it's a decent ride. But at the back, it's just terrible. It's a bit like Colossus, I guess. But I only put this one in because I've pretty much just run out of top 5 coasters to put in, because the ones I've been on are actually decent, but some of these just don't compare to any of the decent ones that I've actually been on. So it's kind of just there. Even though it is quite bad at the back, but it is a fun ride anyway. So, yeah. And now for a Disneyland coaster at Disneyland Paris, Temple du Peril. It looks decent off-ride until you get on it. Then you regret your whole decision to go to Disneyland. Well, I mean, you don't, but like, because Disneyland Paris is actually quite a nice place, but other than that coaster, it's all great. It's an Intamin looping coaster, and it's based on a Pinfari layout. That just says it all, really, doesn't it? And a lot of you already know this, but once and for all, the worst coaster I've ever been on, and it probably will still be for a lot of years to come, Hero, the Zamperla Volaire at Flamingo Land. What a waste of £8 million. Like, seriously, I think the Wild Mouse that they used to have there was a coaster that I did when I was quite young, and I enjoyed that ride. But no, they replaced it with something where it literally feels like you're locked in a cage, going around a really, like, 10 tight corners, 2 heartline rolls, and it's so painful, and it's just so bad. Like, they shouldn't even have put it in there. And if you like this ride, then this is the one where I don't care what people think. It's so bad. Just, if you like this ride, go on it again and rethink, because trust me, it's just torture.